Yes, good afternoon to all. So we are discussing here unit number three. In unit number three, we are discussing lecture number seven, data visualization. So we already discussed about the data, what is data, okay, and we already discussed about the visualization. How can we represent the data in a visual format? Okay, so in uh, today's world era, you can see a lot of data is being generated on daily basis. Okay, and sometimes to analyze the data for certain trends, patterns may become difficult if data is in its raw format. For example, we are using so many social media apps like LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp. So you can take example in on the daily basis we are posting some of the photos and videos on the Facebook. We make the reel and post on that. So you can say on the daily basis a lot of data received by the Facebook from our side. Okay, so how can we manage it? How can we represent it? Okay, so with the help of data visualization, you can see it. So overcome this data visualization comes into play. Data visualization provides a good organized pictorial representation of the data, which makes it easier to understand, observe, and analyze. Okay, so Python provides various libraries. With the help of Python, along with the libraries, you can do that. Okay, you can visualize the data with different features and parameters of the data. All these libraries, okay, all these libraries. This means Python provides some libraries, okay, that come with the different features and can support various type of graphs. Okay, we will discussing four such libraries like Matplotlib, Seaborn, Bok, and Plotly. We will discuss these library one by one and will plot some most commonly used graph. Staple Python libraries for data science. Dataset used here we use the tips dataset. Tips dataset is the record of the tip given by the customer in the restaurant for 2.5 months in the early 1990. Okay, it contains 6 columns such as total bill, tip, sex, smoker, day, time, size. If you want to see this data, so you can download it. Okay, this is available on the internet, so you can just download it and explore this tips data set. Okay. For example, if you want to display, if you want to know about the heads of this data set, so you can use this method like firstly import the pandas library. Okay, so import pandas as PD, then reading the database. So we use the data as a parameter is equals to PD. That means we use the pandas library. That means after that we use the read underscore CSV function on that particular data sets, which is stored in our PC. Okay. After that, printing the top 10 rows in your data set. So we use your display function along with the head. Okay, so data dot head. How many rows you want to show? 10 rows you want to print here. Okay, so we use 10. After execution of the this program, you will get this type of output. So here we can see first column representing the sequence numbers, second column represent the total bill, and then tip, then sex, then smoker, and then day, then time, then size. Along with this, you will get the information top 10 rows of that data set. Okay, you can see Matplotlib. Matplotlib is an easy to use low level data visualization libraries. that is built on NumPy arrays. It consists of various plots like a scatter plot, line plot, histogram plot, etc. So Matplotlib provides a lot of flexibility to all of us if you want to deal with. Okay. To install this type of Matplotlib libraries, to uh, below command in the terminal you can use pip install Matplotlib. After installing Matplotlib, let's see the most commonly used plot using this library. We can discuss here. So this is the pictorial representation. How can we download the Matplotlib? So firstly, we discuss about the scatter plot. Whenever we download the Matplotlib library, so you can use scatter plot. We want to plot the diagram as a scatter form, okay, of your TIFFs data set. So scatter plots are used to observe relationship between variable and uses dot to represent the relationship between them. You can see here this is there is the one of the scatter plot, and x bar represent the days and y coordinate represent the tips. So this is the relationship between tips and day, and that is represented by the dot. Okay. So the scatter method is used in the matplot library is used to draw the scatter plot. This graph can be more meaningful if we can add colors. Okay. And also change the size of points also. According to the requirement, you can change the color and you can change the size of the point. Okay, so we can do this by using the C and S parameter respectively of the scatter function. There are two parameters C and S. Okay, whenever we use the scatter function, we can also show the color bar using the color bar method. Okay, so this is the example. You can see here. Firstly, we use the pandas libraries, then import matplotlib, then reading the database, then scatter plot with day against tips. Okay, so PLT we used plt.scatter data day against tips. So we use data day then data tips. Adding title to the plot. So plt.title we give here title scatter plot and setting the x and y labels. So we use here x label as day and y label as tips. After that we want to print it. So you can see here this is the graph scatter graph. Okay, that is another graph. You can say scatter plot with C and S parameter. So firstly import pandas as PD, then import matplotlib as matplotlib.pyplot as plt. After that, I want to reading the database. So we read the database. Which database? Tips database. We already discussed about the tips. A scatter plot with day against tips. As discussed in previous example, just add here only two parameters C and S. Okay, so C is equals to data size. Okay, as representing the total bill of your data. Okay, so remain is same, adding title, then setting the x and y label, then plt dot color bar and plt dot show. Okay, so you can see here there is the scatter plot with color. Okay, color that means represent the size of your data. Okay, uh, data that means tips data. Okay, and S represent the as there S and C there are two parameter. Okay, size of the uh, dot point that means and C representing the color. Okay, line chart. If you want to draw line chart, so you can just use the line chart. So line chart is also used to represent the relationship between two data x and y on the different axes. It's plotted using the plot function. Similarly, we use here pandas libraries, import matplotlib libraries, reading the database, then scatter plot with day against tips. We use scatter plot also, and adding the title of the plot, then setting the x and y label here, then plt.so. Okay, so plot function we used here against tips and day. So after execution of this code, you will get the scatter plot. Okay, sorry, line plot in a scatter form. So you can see here. Okay, this is the graph in a line form. Bar chart is also there. Bar chart, or you can say bar plot, is a graph that represents the category of data with the rectangular bars with length and height that is proportional to the values which they represent. It can be created using bar method. Simply, you just use a bar function because you want to display as a bar form. So the main code will be same except you just use here in place of a scatter or a plot function, we use here the bar function only. Okay, so you can see here bar chart against tips and date. Okay, histogram. A histogram is basically used to represent data in form of some groups. It is a type of bar plot where the x-axis represents the bin, while the y gives information about the frequency. X represents the bin range and y represents the information about the frequency. The hist function is used to compute and create a histogram. In histogram, if we pass category data, then it will automatically compute the frequency of the data. It means how often each value occur. Okay, so histogram is also there. Import pandas as PD, import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, reading the database. Then histogram of total bill you want to generate here. So hist function we use here. Then plt dot title histogram, adding the legend also. So you can display the histogram of day, and we use the data tips data against this data has to, we want to generate the histogram of the total bill. So you can generate the total. Seaborn. Seaborn is a high level interface built on top of the Matplotlib. It provides beautiful design style and color palettes to make more attractive graph. Okay, so we use pip to install the Seaborn. Pip install Seaborn to install Seaborn type the blow command in the terminal. So we use the pip install Seaborn. Okay, to install the Seaborn library. Seaborn is built on the top of Matplotlib. Therefore, it can be used with the Matplotlib as well. Using both Matplotlib and Seaborn together is a very simple process. We just have to invoke the Seaborn plotting function as normal, and then we can use Matplotlib customization function also. Seaborn comes loaded with data sets such as tips, iris, etc. But the sake of this, we will use pandas for loading these data sets. So you can use the Seaborn library here importing the packages. Firstly, we import the Seaborn, then we import Matplotlib here, then we import the pandas library. Reading the database, we use the read underscore CSV function. Okay, draw line plot here. We want to draw here line plot. So SNS, this is the Seaborn library we use here. Line plot, X is equals to sex, Y is equals to total bill. That means X represent the sex parameter and Y is equals to total bill. That means Y represent the total bill parameter and data is equals to data. Setting the title, if you want to set the title, so you can use plt dot. So we use the Seaborn libraries as well as the Matplotlib to visualize the data. Okay, so with the help of this, we plot the scatter plot. A scatter plot is plotted using the scatter plot method. This is similar to Matplotlib, but additional argument data is required here. Okay, you will find that while using Matplotlib, it will a lot difficult if you want to color each point of this data of this plot according to the size. But in a scatter plot, it can be done with the help of hue argument. Okay, so there is available hue argument. Okay, like this. You can see here, we just add here one of the parameter hue. Okay, hue in sex. Okay, there are female and male. Okay, there are two color. Male indicating the orange color indicate the male, and blue color represent the female. So that is the benefit which is provided uh, by the Seaborn libraries. Okay, so that's why we use more easy and more easy to understand for all of us. Line plot is also there. Line plot in Seaborn plotted using the line plot method. Similarly, we use for the uh, Matplotlib. Okay, in this we can pass only the data argument also. Okay, so just give the data argument look like this. In this example, you can see firstly we import the packages, import Seaborn as SNS, then import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, then import pandas as PD. After that, we read the data sets, reading the database, and data is equals to pd.read underscore CSV, tips.csv. We want to use here tips data set. Okay. SNS.line_plot along with this data x is equals to date. That means x coordinate represent the day, y coordinate that represent the tip, and data pass the argument data argument pass in this line plot function. After that, we want to show this, so plt.show. So this is very simple to use the line plot whenever you want to draw the line plot for the particular parameter of your particular data set. Okay. The line plot, as we discussed in the previous line plot and with the help of Matplotlib. Similarly, we use here a line plot with using the Seaborn libraries. So firstly, we import the Seaborn as SNS, then import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, then import pandas as PD. After that, we want to read the database, so we use the data is equals to PD dot. We use here read underscore CSV along with your dataset name. Okay, and using only data attributes here, so we use SNS. That means say one library. So SNS dot line plot. Data is equals to data dot. We use a drop function. Okay, along with the total bill attribute in your data set. X is equals to 1. This is the parameter. And after that, we want to use the show function whenever we want to represent the line plot. So we can show this line plot diagram. Okay. So Using only data attribute, we represent the line plots. You can see here. Okay. Bar plot is also there. Bar plot in C1 can be created using bar plot method. Okay, and there is one of the another parameter added along with the bar plot function, hue. Okay, so hue parameter is added. Okay, and we use for the one of the parameter 6, which is in your data set. Firstly, we import the packages, import Seaborn as SNS, then import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, then import the pandas as PD. After that, we read the database. Okay, so data is equals to PD dot read underscore CSV along with your dataset name, or if you want to save any D drive, C drive, so you just give the path of your dataset. Okay, SNS dot par plot x is equals to day, x representing the day and y coordinate representing the tip, and data is equals to data, and hue is equals to sex. Then plt dot show. Okay, so after execution of this um, code, we will give the you will got this type of bar chart. Okay, so you can see here with the help of Seaborn library, you can create this histogram. You just remember histogram we already generated with the help of Matplotlib, but we are using here histogram in Seaborn library, which can be plotted using the histplot function. Okay, so same thing will happen here, but something different is also. Firstly, we import the packages, whatever packages are required to draw the histogram. So firstly, we import the Seaborn as SNS, then import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, then import pandas as PD, then reading the database. Okay, so we already know about the read the dataset. How can we read the dataset? We give the path here along with the read and the so CSV function. Then SNS.histplot, we use their histplot function along with the Seaborn libraries. Okay, so in that case, we use here x is equals to total bill. Okay, then data is equals to data, then KDE, one of the parameter that will be true, and hue is equals to sex. Okay, so we represent the hue, which for male and female. Okay, and x coordinate represent the total bill. Okay, so after going through all these points, you must have noticed that customized plot using C1 is a lot more easier than using flat Matplotlib. And it is also built over Matplotlib, then we can also use Matplotlib function using Seaborn. Book is mainly focused for its interactive charts visualization. Book renders its plot using HTML and JavaScript that uses modern web browsers for presenting elegant, concise construction of low graphics with higher level interactivity. So how can we install it? So we just give the command uh, in the terminal. So we use just pip install book. Okay, we just give this command to install the book in your PC. Pip install book. So whenever you use this command, so you will install book, and you will look like this type of look like this screen. Okay, whenever you install the book. Similarly, there are scatter plot we can draw in book. So scatter plot in book can be plotted using scatter method. of the plotting module here pass the x and y coordinate respectively. Okay, scatter graph you can see. Okay, and for this we required some modules. So we firstly import the modules here. Okay, so from box.plotting import figure output files and source. From book uh, let's import magma. We require magma also. Import partners as PD, one of the packages also required here. Okay, for the data manipulation. Then instantiation in the figure object. So graph is equals to figure. Give the title here, book scatter graph. Then reading the database as we know about the how can we read the data set. Okay. Then we give the color. Color is equals to magma 256. Then plotting the graph also. So graph dot scatter. We use as the total bill attribute data total bill dot data tip we use here. Which data? Tip data. And color is equals to color. So display the models. We use here this function show graph. After execution of this code, we will get, you will receive this type of box scatter graph. So you can see here there is the relationship. Okay, there is so many colors. Okay, because we use the magma here 256. Okay, you can see box scatter plot. Line chart you also create with the help of line method. Okay, so in block, so you can see block line chart. Okay, importing the plot. Uh, you can see here there is no any change. Just use here the plotting the graph. That means graph dot line on your DF. That means data frame. Which data? Data tip. Which data we use here? Tip data. So importing, firstly we import the module from book dot plotting import figure output files. So okay, import pandas as PD. Okay, then graph is equals to figure title you can give here book line chart or book file bar chart you can say, but we by mistakenly we write here book bar chart, but it's book line chart. Reading the database, then count of each unique value of tip column. So df is equals to data tip dot value count. Then plotting the graph dot line. After execution of this graph, you will get this type of graph. Yes, bar chart can be of two type horizontal bars and vertical bars. Each can be created using the H bar and V bar function of the plotting interface respectively. So firstly we import the modules from book.plotting import figure output file. So import pandas as PD. Okay, instant instantiating the figure object. Graph is equals to figure title. You can give a book bar chart. Reading the database, then plotting the graph. So you want to draw here a vertical graph. So graph dot b bar. Okay, on total bill. So we give here data total bill. Then top is equals to data tip. Display the model. So graph here. After execution of this code, you will give this. You will receive this book bar chart. Look like this. Now interactive data visualization. One of the key feature of fork is to add interaction to the plots. Let's see various interaction that can be added. Interactive legend, hiding, interacting legend. Click policy properties make the legend interactive. There are two type of interactivity like hiding and muting. Hiding, hide the hide the glyphs, and muting, hiding the glyphs makes it vanish completely. On the other hand, muting the glyphs just re-emphasize the glyph based on the parameter. So, interactive data visualization, this is one of the example. Firstly, we import the module from box.plotting, import figure, output file, and so. Okay, then import pandas as PD, instant, yes, instantiate the figure object. Graph is equals to figure. You will give the title of the chart here. Reading the database, data is equals to pd dot read underscore csv. Give the path of your data. Then plotting the graph here. We want to draw the vertical bar here. That's why we use the v bar. Graph dot v bar. Okay, along with the some parameter. Data total bill. Then top is equals to data tip. Then legend label. Bill vs tips. Will versus chips, then we want to give the color, so color is equals to green. Then graph.bvar for the another attribute data tip, then top is equals to data size. Okay, then legend label is equals to tips versus size. Then we want to give the color here, so color is red, so we use here the color is equals to red. Graph.legend click policy is equals to hide. So you give the click policy we use here hide. After that you want to display the model, so you can use the show graph. Look like this work bar chart. You can represent here will versus tips and tips versus size. There are four parameter. There are three parameter we use here. First one is bill versus tips, which is represented by the green color, and tips versus size, which is represented by the red color. Okay, so this is the benefit whenever we use the interactive visualization of the data. One of the another feature, adding widgets. Both provide GUI features similar to HTML forms like button, slider, checkbox, etc. These provide an interactive interface to the plot that allows changing the parameter of the plot, modifying the plot data, etc. Let's see how to use and add some commonly used widgets. First one is button, checkbox group, and radio group. So what is button? So this one adds a simple button widget to the plot. We have to pass a custom JavaScript function to the custom JS method of the models class. Okay, and checkbox group adds a standard checkbox to the plot. Similar to the button, we have to pass the custom JavaScript function to the custom JS method of the model class. Adds a simple radio button and accept a custom JavaScript function that will be considered as the radio group. Okay. So adding widgets, Pambok.io import import so formbox.models import button checkbox group radio groups custom JS. Button is equals to button label you can give gfg and button.js on click custom JavaScript code will be console.log button give the function click this two string okay and L is equals to first second and third label for checkbox and radio buttons okay the active parameter set checks the selected value by default uh, you just give the checkbox group and checkbox group label is equals to L active 0 comma 2 checkbox group dot js on click custom js code is equals to console.log checkbox group active plus this active this two string you will give here and similarly for use active intercept check the selected value by default and we use a radio group okay then so button so checkbox group so radio groups after execution of this code you will get got this type of output like you can see here there are two group first one is checkbox group and second one is radio group okay you can see here first second third and first second third this is the checkbox group this is the radio group adding slider also so slider adds a slider to the plot it also need a custom javascript function okay with the help of box you can just add it from box.io import so from box.modules import custom js slider slider is equals to slider start is equals to 1 and is equals to 20 value is equals to 1 step is equals to 2 and title will be slider okay so these are the parameter whenever you want to insert the slider on your project okay so slider.js on the change value custom js we use there code is equals to console.log slider you will give the value plus this dot value this dot two string here okay and so the slider after execution of this code you will add you can add the slider also look like this plotly this is the last library of list and you might be wondering why plotly so plotly has our tool capabilities that allow us to detect any outlier or anomalies in numerous data points. It allows more customization. It makes the graph visually more attractive. To install it, type the below command, look like this, pip install plotly. Whenever you use the plotly, it must be install it. Okay. Firstly, you have to install it, then you can use it. So there are three reasons for using the plotly. Plotly has our tool capabilities that allow us to detect any outliers and it allows us more customization. It makes the graph visually more attractive. So firstly we draw the scatter plot. The scatter plot with plotly. It can be changed using the scatter method of plotly.express like Seaborn. Like Seaborn, an extra data argument is also required here. Firstly, we import the plotly.express as px, then import pandas as pd, then reading the database, data is equals to pd.read underscore csv, tips.csv, then plotting the scatter plot, fig is equals to ps dot scatter data, x is equals to day and y is equals to tip, color is equals to sex. That means we use x and y coordinate, x representing the day and y representing the tips. After that, we want to show this plot, so you can just use the fig.show function. After execution of this code, you will get this type of plot here using plotly. Similarly, For the line chart in Plotly is much accessible and illustrious annexation to Plotly, which manage a variety of types of data and assemble easy to style static statistic with px.line. Each data position is represented as a vertex. So you can see here, this is the graph which will be generated by this code. Look like this. Firstly, we import Plotly as express as px, then import pandas, then we read the database, then Plotly the scatter chart with the help of Plotly. So we use here fig.px.line. Okay. After that, we get some parameter here, then so function we use for representing the graph. We also generate the bar graph also. Bar graph in Plotly can be created using bar method for the plotly.express class. Firstly, we import the plotly.express as px, then import pandas as pd, then reading the database. Okay, plotting the scatter plot here. Fig is equals to px dot bar, then give the some parameter here showing the plot. So after execution of this code, you will receive this type of bar chart. It is totally different from Buck and Matplotlib or Seaborn. Histogram in Plotly, histogram can be created using histogram function of the plotly.express class. So you can just see here, it's totally different from previous one. Okay, so import plotly.express as px, import pandas as pd, then reading the database, then plotly the scatter chart, plotting the scatter chart, fig is equals to px dot histogram, then give some parameter here, then showing the plot. So we use here the fig dot show function. Adding interaction, just like Poke, Plotly also provide various interaction. Let's discuss a few of them. Creating drop-down menu. With the help of Plotly, you can just add creating drop-down menu. A drop-down is a part of the menu button which is displayed on the screen all the time. Every menu button is associated with the menu widget that can display the choices for that menu button when clicked on it. In Plotly, there are four possible methods to modify the charts by using update menu method. Restyle, layout, update, and animate. Restyle, modify data or data attribute. Relayout, modify layout attribute. Update, modify data and layout attribute. Animate, start or pause an animation. So, firstly, there is the example to create the top-down menu. Import plotly.graph objects as px, then import pandas as pd, then reading the database as data is equals to pd dot read underscore csv, then give the path of the data. Plot is equals to px dot figure, data is equals to px dot scatter. We give the parameter x is equals to data for day. That means x represent the day attribute, then y is equals to data tip, y represent the tip attribute, then mode is equals to markers. Add drop down plot dot update layout. How can we add the drop down? So you can see here plot dot update underscore layout. Update minus is equals to dict, button is equals to list. Dictionary you can add here. Give some argument here, type in a scatter, then use the label scatter plot method is style. So you can just add it and use it. So you can just add here, and you can see here whenever we want to bar chart, so you can just see the bar chart. Whenever you want to draw the scatter plot, so you just click on the scatter chart. Whenever you want to bar chart, there are the drop down list for the same data, for the same code. Okay, so this is the method to add more interactive. Okay, with the help of Plotly, you can do it. Okay, so there is another dictionary we created for the bar chart. There is the argument we give here, type and bar, label bar chart, method restyle. Okay, the direction is will be down. So this is the way to add the more interactive. Okay, button also you can add in Plotly. Action custom buttons are used to quickly make action directly from the record. Custom button can be added to page layout in CRM, marketing, custom apps. There are also four possible methods that can be applied in the custom buttons. Restyle, relay out, update, animate. Restyle, modify data or data attribute. Relayout, modify layout attribute. Update, modify data and layout attribute. Animate, start or pause an animation. How can we do it? So you can just see this example. Import firstly we import the plotly dot graph objects as px, then import pandas as pd, then read the database. Data is equals to pd dot read underscore csv tips dot csv. Plot is equals to px dot figure. Data is equals to px dot scatter. X is equals to data. That means x represent the day and y represent the tip, and mode will be marker. Then add button here. So plot update layout update minus dictionary you can give here. Type is equals to button, direction is equals to left, button is equals to list, and then we can add the dictionary. So argument we pass here type and scatter. Okay. So label will be scatter plot and method will be restyle, and another dictionary we add here with argument. Type will be bar and label will be bar chart. Method will be restyle. After that, you want to show here. So there are two buttons available for the same chart. Uh, uh, with the using this code, you can represent same data, use same data for two chart. है ना? There are button whenever we put on the whenever you click on the scatter chart, you will give the you can see the scatter chart here. Whenever you want to click on the bar chart, so you just see here the bar chart. You can see here. Creating slider and selector also with the help of Plotly. So in Plotly, the range slider is a custom range type input control. It allows selecting a value or range of values between a specified minimum and maximum range. And the range selector is a tool for selecting range to display within the chart. It previous button to select pre-configured range in the chart also. It also provides input boxes where the minimum and maximum date can be manually input. Okay, so let's see this example. How can we create the selector and the slider here? So firstly we import the plotly, import plotly.graph objects as px, then import pandas library. Then we read the database, data is equals to pd.read underscore csv. This data set we use here. Then plot is equals to px dot figure. We give this parameter here, data is equals to px dot scatter. Wire data tips and mode will be lines. है ना? It's depend on the choice. Whatever we give the mode here, we give here the mode lines. Okay, so we use the line here. Plot update layout. Okay, accesses dictionary we create, and along with this range selector is also there, is equals to dix, and button is equals to list. Then dictionary count will be one, step day, and step mode will be backward. And range slider is also there along with the dictionary here. Visible parameter is here, that will be true after showing. After execution of this, you will give the slider also and selector also. You can see here, after execution of this code, you will give this look like this graph after creating slider and selector. You can see here very carefully. So way to this is the way to use your visualization method. There are so many methods here, many charts here we can use, and your data represented in a more attractive way. Okay, thank you.